Hello everyone. Today I'll be reviewing Seobok, a movie that I screened at the 2021 Fantasia International Film Festival. Seobok is directed by Lee Yong-ju, written by Pan Ne-lin, and stars Gong Yoo, Park Bo-gum, and Yang Young-nam. This is a Seobok movie review, and there will be spoilers. If you like our movie reviews, please like this Seobok film review, as that helps us out with YouTube's algorithm, and please consider subscribing. Once subscribed, click the bell notification box and you're all set. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon. The link is in the description. Alrighty, we're gonna talk about a new film and it's an amazing film out of South Korea. It's a Korean entertainment company that produced this film, and let me tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by not just the questions that this film makes me ask, but the philosophical nature of what seemed to be a sci-fi movie. Ex-intelligence agent Ki Hyun is tasked with safely transporting Seobok, the first ever human clone, who holds the secret to eternal life. Several forces try to take control of Seobok to serve their own agenda. Seobok tells the story of Ki Hyun, played by Gong Hoo, a former intelligence agent who is terminally ill. Given the task to safely transport Seobok, played by Bo-gum, because the clone holds the secret to immortality, everyone is on the run to get their hands on him as to extract that secret. Ki Hyun will do everything within his power to shield the clone from people with evil intentions. This film is an amazing taste for an American, I'm assuming is an amazing Korean film market. I mean, this film looks like a sci-fi, technology-focused, kind of soft drama, if you will. But quickly, I was totally drawn in, and because the first frames of the film they'll be very familiar to an American, and I'm very ignorant in my international movie watching. I'm a very American movie watcher, to my own detriment, because this film opens in a very Rambo-y way, if you will. We quickly get dropped into the difference in filmmaking between what is coming out of the Korean and Chinese markets versus what we're doing over here, because they're using technology to tell a story in such a beautiful way that I was immediately dropped in and immersed into this world. And luckily for me, there's a little bit of the film, a lot of the film is in English, but a lot of the film is also in Korean. And so there's subtitles when you need it as an English speaker, and I had absolutely no problem dropping into this film. This film is really easy to drop into, and I was really taken back by this character, Seobok. His brain waves are so powerful. He can control the vibrational air around him, and it's really awesome the way they do this. It's not overdone. I feel like too much of American filmmaking right now is way too polished, way too overdone. And this movie is amazingly refreshing in its gentleness with how they incorporate technology, and really how they use technology to ask questions about what we're doing with our humanity in the 21st century. The characters in the film talk about how technology is a powerful tool for those who fear death, and it can really be exploited to really make people easily scared, because we're all, especially Americans, are inherently greedy, and greed is deep within our humanity. The film does a really good job at showing us how technology can be used to make us even more greedy. What I loved about the film is that its writing, its script is for me, it was surprisingly biting and funny, really cool. How the characters in the film were talking to one another, how easily I related to it as an American. It was really, really fun. The character who we were talking about, his life hinges on protecting Seobok. A lot of things go down as he's trying to protect this boy, but what I really loved about the film wasn't so much the action core, because there is very much a real, fun, good action core to this film. I'm really excited about the philosophical questions that the storyline made me ask. What the characters say in the film, they ask questions about if immortality becomes real, will life cease to exist as we know it? These are really interesting questions that Western culture needs to be asking of ourselves, that I don't really see us even spending any time with wondering about, because we're too busy retweeting or liking or attacking someone with technology. But the characters in the film, the storytelling made me see that death is the linchpin to life, and the characters underpin this message. Once that becomes ambiguous, life itself becomes meaningless, and it's a amazing philosophical question that Western culture should be asking first, and we're not even talking about this stuff. That's what blew my mind about this film, is just the things that they're talking about, how relevant it is, how relevant it is to our culture, how relevant it is to my life. This film, I identified big time with Seobok. Not to mention the score in the film is amazing. It really complements the storytelling, and I can't underscore just how well the storytelling is done in this film. Some scenes are visually stunning. Particularly, there's a shot over the ocean, and how they, manipulate the scene is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful work in Seobok. The film itself is extremely touching, and I'm not going to ruin the plot line, because I want you to see this film, because I feel like every American moviegoer should see this film. I hope that they release this film on Netflix or something, because Americans need to see this film. This film is a very good film. I'd give this film a solid A in a rating. It's extremely touching. It is supernatural. You can tell that from the trailer, but it's also and it's because of its supernaturality, it's also surreal in some of the questions that they're asking. But because of that, it's also so real and grounded. It felt like a movie that America should have made. It's making me question what our objectives are in making movies, because this is a very philosophical film. It makes you question your reality. That is the purpose of art. That is why art exists. And I can't underscore enough just how great this movie is and how much it surprised me as an ignorant American. There are big lessons within the writing. There are big lessons within the story itself, not just the protection of a boy who you end up falling in love with because of his humanity. He's looked at as inhumane, but he's actually has so much more humanity than the people around him, the quote-unquote people around him. And it's a phenomenal accomplishment by the director. I really appreciated how it was both in Korean and in English. The director is Lee Yong-ju. The writer is also Lee Yong-ju. And I can't underscore enough how amazing the screenplay is. It's phenomenal. Park Bo-gum plays Seobok. He does an amazing job. Incredibly touching acting, incredibly real, and brings you into a character who you really wouldn't identify with as just a human, but his humanity bursts out of his quote-unquote creature kind of skin, his supernatural skin. His humanity is so full in that. And Ki-yeon is played by Gong-hoo, and he does a great job bringing us into his character's journey and how he became working for this company, and his regrets in his life, and how technology intertwines with all of these things. It's really important to ask these questions, and it's depressing as an American to see this come out of South Korea. But I'm so happy that this movie was made. I can't wait to see more movies out of Korea. I can't wait to see what this director does next, because Seobok is a phenomenal movie. It's just under 2 hours. I'm not sure where it's going to be available. I was lucky enough to see it. Definitely check it out when you come across Seobok. Seobok. The cinematographer, Mo Jang Lee. The composer, Young Wook Jo. Unbelievable job. Just unbelievable job. I can't underscore enough how good of a film this is. Great of a time it is to watch As an American, you come away with many questions that you're asking of not just yourself, but your present reality and what I'm doing with my life. I just hope everyone likes it as much as I did. And that brings us to the conclusion of this CO Bulk movie review. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below in the comments section. If you liked what you heard during this film review, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for viewing, and you can watch one of these reviews next.